let's get straight into looking at these awesome games. Over the last few months, the talented trio of Antonio Savona, Saul Cross and Steve Day, aka STE86, have taken three beloved Activision classics that were originally made for the Atari 2600 and have lovingly updated them for the Commodore 64. The thing I love about these games and other ones like them is the extremely easy way in which you can pick them up and play them for the first time without having to read any instructions. Each one is very intuitive to understand, yet as you progress through the levels they grow in complexity and challenge. Over the course of this video, I'm first going to show you what the original 2600 version looked like before I switch over to the new C64 version. So let's begin with the first of the three that was released, Frostbite. Activision published this one back in 1983 and it was designed and programmed by Steve Cartwright. You control a little Eskimo chap who has to build his igloo by jumping between moving icebergs. Once all four levels have been jumped on, they will light up once again so you can repeat the process. There will be fish to collect in the water for bonus points, but there will also be flying birds, crabs and clams that will push you off the ice should they collide with you. After a few levels, a polar bear will arrive on the scene that will chase after you should you get too close to it, costing you a life. Eventually the ice will also start to break apart and the whole thing will begin to speed up as you advance through the stages. I actually think the 2600 version looks pretty decent, but now let's check out the C64 version. As you can see, the new Commodore version retains the feel and the design of the original game, while also adding a lot more detail and charm to the visuals. The controls feel spot on, with the Eskimo responding to your inputs instantly, which is good because the game really wouldn't work at all if they hadn't got that aspect right. Where the Atari version had no music, this version has a nice little tune that plays which really adds to the overall enjoyment. I was not actually familiar with the original Frostbite game at all back in the day, but I very quickly grew to love it after spending some time with this version. Of the three games I'm looking at today, Frostbite is my second favourite. Next up we have Keystone Capers, which Activision also published in 1983. This one was designed and programmed by Gary Kitchen and is loosely based on the very old silent Keystone Cops films. You take control of a Bobby on the beat who is chasing after a robber who is looting a department store. The criminal has a head start on you, but you can run slightly faster than him. There are lots of different obstacles to avoid as you give chase, including bouncing balls, radiators, shopping trolleys that are careening out of control, and toy aeroplanes. Colliding with most of these things will cost you some valuable time, with the exception of the toy plane, which will kill you outright. There are also lifts in the middle of the store which can be used to avoid a section of the level, as long as you get the timing right, as they can be painfully slow. This game is my favourite of the three, and it was also my favourite game for the Atari 2600 when it was originally released. I can't actually remember all that many 2600 games nowadays, but this particular one has always stuck in my memory because it is just so much fun to play. I was always quite impressed with how good the graphics were on the Atari and how smoothly the game played. The new C64 version therefore is an absolute delight, with the extra details afforded by the more powerful hardware really bringing the department store to life like never before. The new music is really catchy and I can't get it out of my head. This is without a doubt my favourite of these three games, but it already had a head start due to the nostalgia I had for it. Moving on to our third and final game for today, we have Crackpots, yet another 1983 release from Activision. This one was designed and programmed by Dan Kitchen. You take control of a poor little man at the top of a building that is beset by bugs. You have to quickly move left and right between 6 potted plants and drop them on the nasty bugs below before they can get inside. Each wave of bugs is a different colour and each one behaves differently. Black ones just charge straight up and are fairly easy to deal with, and red ones move diagonally and can be a real pain in the backside to hit. After you have dealt with one wave of each colour, the whole process will start over with even faster bugs. Should too many of the critters manage to get into the building, then a different type of bug will cut through the bricks, bringing you closer to the ground. I found that this makes the game harder too, as future bugs will then have less far to travel. While the team have once again done a good job bringing this game over to the C64, I do have to say that this is my least favourite of the trio of titles by far. This is partly because I am just plain rubbish at the game, but also because the spiders or ants or whatever they are really give me the creeps. The scuttly little buggers really make my skin crawl. If you are a Commodore 64 fan or you love simple classic games like these in general, then you should definitely give all of them a try. They're completely free for you to download and they work great on devices like the C64 Mini or Maxi and the GPD XD. I really hope that the team of Antonio Savona, Saul Cross and Steve Day continue to bring old Atari titles over to the C64, as they are a perfect fit for the system. If they do, you can bet I'll be back with a follow-up video to take a look at them. That's all for now though. I'll be back again soon with another video. In the meantime, take care.